the Livingston first goal came totally out of the blue. I mean, what a finish it is for the centre-back on the volley. So those things can happen. But as Andy says, it's about how you react to that. They come out at half time knowing what they have to do. They're only a goal behind. And they defend them for the second goal. I mean, from start to finish, for John Souttar's slack pass to Tavernier on the halfway line, him losing it, Souttar then chasing the Livingston player down the left and diving into a challenge that he doesn't need to make and conceding the free kick. Free kick comes in, they clear it, and everybody charges towards the ball, leaving Lewis Smith on his own. I mean, the defending was diabolical for the second goal, and you can't get away with that. And that's against the bottom team in the league, a team that's no won since August.
Yeah,
you're making those kind of mistakes, those kind of errors, lapses of concentration, slackness, sloppiness.
Yeah,
that cannot happen if you're in the midst of a title race with 10 games to go.
You know, people talk about Hearts and Celtic digging out wins at the end. The problem with Rangers has been, it's not that they've lost games, it's the momentary mistakes that have seemed cost them wins, and they're drawn. There's 11 draws this season. I mean, that is, you can't win a league when you've drawn 11 games. Listen, if they do, I think there's an argument made whoever wins the league this year is probably the weakest champions in a long, long time. And that's no disrespect to Hearts, because they've had a fantastic season. But the fact that Hearts are in a title race tells you that Rangers and Celtic are poor teams. Because it just goes to reason with the amount of the financial advantage they've got. The only way Hearts get into this is if Rangers Celtic.
Well, exactly. So it would be, you would never criticise Hearts, I mean, sorry, but if I know the point you're making, it would arguably be the kind of lowest poor standard, for a long, long time. And if that was the case, if it was Celtic, Rangers, you would certainly say that. But I mean, you caveat it if Hearts were to win it by saying, it's the first team in 40 years outside the Old Firm to win it. So I mean, it could only be a good thing from their point of view.
I mean, it's not to downplay their achievement, because for any team out with Old Firm to even to split the Old Firm is an incredible achievement. But I don't think there's any doubt that, if you put this Hearts team up against even Steven Gerrard's Rangers of 5 years ago, of a Brendan Rodgers Celtic team, or a Martin O'Neill Celtic team, or a Dick Habitat Rangers team, I think they keep the floor on them, frankly. But it's still a bit. If Hearts going to win the league this year, it's still a fantastic achievement. It's still a monumental achievement.
You mentioned Andy Chermiti earlier there with a chance. I know you spoke to Chris Boyd yesterday. Chermiti, he's played in 30 games this season, scored in 4 of them. I read that stat earlier. And Chris Boyd you spoke to him yesterday. I read your piece today. He was talking again about how Rangers should have gone for Shankland. That's a point you've made. I know you've made, Scott, repeatedly. But obviously Chermiti was coming back off his hat trick the previous week when he was getting all the plaudits. He obviously had Nadiri up there with him, who wasn't fit enough to start on Sunday. How much do you think he missed the German on Sunday, and how much would he benefit if he can start on this Sunday?
Do you know what I think? What I think Nadiri does is he takes the pressure off Chermiti, in the sense that, and I say this knowing that it was Chermiti who scored the goals last week, but Nadiri's the one with the nose for goal. He's the one. I mean, I was speaking to Chris Boyd yesterday. He was talking about, you look at Chermiti and he's here, there, he's everywhere. He's running channels. He's running out to the wing. He never seems to be where you want him to be in, which is between the post and the 6-yard box. Whereas that is really what Nadiri does. And I think by Nadiri actually occupying centre backs and making the kind of runs that a proper number 9 makes, it sometimes leaves Chermiti in the kind of unorthodox spots where he seems to score from. So I don't think there's any doubt he's not. I think he's come on leaps and bounds, Chermiti, in terms of his general play. But that is just from the really low bar he'd set at the start of the season. I think he's, you can tell he's more confident to how he links up. But if you're a Rangers number 9, you're judged by how many goals you score. And as you say, he scored in 7 goals in total, 4 games, sorry. It's just not good enough. It's just nowhere near good enough, especially for the money they paid. I know there's been a lot of chat about whether Kevin Thelwell should be given a reprieve, given some of the way the guys that he's signed have sort of kicked on. But I kind of don't buy that either, because at the end of the day, Rangers needed guys that could hit the ground running from day one this season. Too many of them have taken a long, long time to get up to speed, and really required Danny Roll to come in and show them how to play and how to defend, crucially. But if you spent £8 million on a centre forward, at the very least, he needs to be scoring 20 goals, probably. I mean, I don't. Right now, I don't even know if you can be confident in Chermiti hitting double figures this season. I mean, I really don't.
I think Scotland, when the Deary signed, I remember talking to you about how Rangers could line up. Remember, we were talking about here's how they could line up. And I think I said to you, in the kind of lineup that we picked was Chermiti in behind the Deary, because a lot of his good work that he has done has been sort of outside the box, and he's not, but maybe he could be more effective as a sort of number 10. Do you think? Did you think that at the Hearts game?
But I thought at the Hearts game they played more of as a two.
Yeah.
And I actually quite liked that, and I thought it worked against Hearts, because I felt with the two big strikers, it caused chaos up there. I think I said to Andy on a previous podcast, we think that first goal Rangers scored when the Deary puts pressure on Steinvender for the OG. Romans gets to the byline, puts a cross in. Chermiti is the first header. Mikey Moore's there to back it up with a shot off the bar, and then the Deary's there to force it in. It was bodies in the box, winning second balls. And I think playing the two up front definitely gives you that. And but we'll probably discuss it, but I'm sure if Celtic are without Austin Trusty at the weekend, and they have to go with a makeshift central defence, Liam Scales, and looks like it could be a Dane Murray or a Ben Arthur or whatever. I think Danny Rowe will be tempted to go with that two up front again. That 4-2-2-2, if you want to call it that. It could be a 4-4-2, whatever it is. The two up front definitely can cause a bit of damage. And going back to your first point, I do think Chermiti benefits for having the Deary beside him. You look at Chermiti's first goal in the Hearts game. It's Nadiri who drops off, picks up the ball for Skov Olsen, and plays Chermiti in for the first goal. So I think that would be tempting for the manager to go with that again. He's obviously got other options. I mean, he could go back to just the one up front. He obviously played kind of one up front Saturday and Sunday with Mikey Moore just off Chermiti. Or does he go to a more kind of conventional 4-3-3? Does he bring like Diomande back in, maybe shore it up a wee bit in the middle of the park and just play one up and two wingers? He has got options. I mean, that's what the January signings have given him. Despite one or two wee knocks, but I think he'd be tempted to go with two up again. If Nadiri's fully fit, which you need to assume he will be at the moment for Sunday, I think he'd be tempted to go with a really similar lineup to the one that played against Hearts.